Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are cookies. We're going to make sugar cookies. What I like about these sugar cookies, well, you can decorate them for any season or any occasion or any type of, festivities that you might have to make cookies for a special event. This particular cookie, though, is made with solid shortening. So I know there are some people that are not fans of this, so maybe this recipe isn't right for you. Or I have read a lot of comments when people have written there are some countries where they can't even buy or purchase solid vegetable shortening. So again, I apologize for you folks that don't like it or can't even buy it in your local grocery stores. Now, if you're looking for cookies, out of over 900 videos, I have about every kind of cookie you can imagine. Other sugar cookies, which are just fantastic, a lot of Italian cookies, that type of thing, among other breads and pizza dough, and well, you name it, I've got it. So if you don't like this recipe, please check out my channel. I'm sure you'll find a cookie recipe of a variety of flavors and types to, meet what you're looking for, okay? So, right to start off, I'm sorry I no longer put the recipe below the video, and I'll explain later on why not, and we'll get started. Now, I will hopefully go slowly enough and clearly enough that if you want to jot down the recipe, I'm going to give it to you as I go along, as well as the procedure, how to put it all together, okay? So let's get started. First, you can use your stand-up mixer as I am, because I do it specifically for the videos because it moves it along faster, and yet many of my recipes need a stand-up if the dough is very heavy or I'm making large amounts, especially when I'm making a lot of sheet cakes and things like that. It really is vital to have a stand-up. But you can use a hand mixer for this recipe if you'd like. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use 1 cup of solid shortening. And I'm going to put that in my mixing bowl. I'm using a paddle. And I am going to warn you about the sound of the mixer because it can be loud on your end. So I will give you a heads up every time I turn it on. Now I'm going to beat this till it creams together and that it's quite smooth. And that might take you a minute or two depending on your speed. But you do want to break it up and you do want to cream it, okay? So let's turn on the mixer. Now, that shortening has been at room temperature, so it's very easy to beat and mix. I don't use it cold when I make this recipe. All right, the next thing that we're going to be putting in is granulated sugars. And you need 1.5 cups of granulated sugar to the cup of the shortening, okay? And I'm just going to put a little at a time, and I'm going to turn on the mixer. Now, again, spend at least a couple minutes blending the vegetable shortening with your granulated sugar, okay? But again, I'm moving it along due to the video. The next thing that you're going to put in is 1 egg, and it's also been at room temperature, so I'll give you a heads up about the mixer. Now, I went to a higher speed just to finish it off. No, I normally don't beat it that high, usually about medium, and about 2 or 3 minutes. The next thing that you're going to put in is 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then I'm just going to beat that in, so warn you about the sound. All right, and again, take the time and really blend them all together, okay? Till you know, and again, it's usually about medium speed, but it really depends on your mixer or your hand mixer, you know, the speed that you decide to use also, okay? Now, let's work on the dry ingredients. First up, you're going to need all-purpose flour, and you will be using 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour. You're also going to be putting in a teaspoon of baking soda, okay? And I emphasize that because a lot of times I get questions, well, did you mean powder, baking powder? No, it was baking soda, and that was 1 teaspoon of baking soda. The next thing is 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then with my little whisk here, I'm just giving it a good stir. You don't have to be fussy with it, just give it a good stir. And then I'm going to just start putting the dry with the wet slowly, so again, it doesn't go all over me and the kitchen, okay? So warn you about the sound. Now you can almost hear the motor lagging a little bit, so that's telling me that I need to go higher in speed. So now I'm just going to finish up beating this in. I'm going to raise to a higher speed till it becomes a cookie dough ball inside my bowl. So warn you about the sound. Okay. What I like about the higher speed is that it'll clean all the sides of the bowl, get to the bottom, because that's where it tends to stick. I'm going to turn it on just for another couple seconds. Warn you about the sound. And now I'm going to just turn it up just for a couple seconds. Okay. And I'm going to take my paddle out, take off my excess, and just bring it together. I'm always worried about the sound, so I'm going to do just a little bit of hand work here to put the ball together, okay? Now, this particular cookie dough, I think it works nicely if I put it in the refrigerator for about 20 minutes. You can put it in the freezer for maybe 10 minutes. Just don't forget, because you don't want to freeze it. I think it works best if it's chilled. But I have worked with it when it hasn't been chilled, but I kind of prefer rolling it out, because these sugar cookies, especially if you're going to use cookie cutters and that kind of thing, I think the chilling helps. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of clean this area off a little bit and get this mixer out of my way. And I'm going to put just a little bit of flour on my countertop. You don't want too much, because you don't want these cookies to be heavy and dense. Okay? And then I'm going to take the cookie ball. Okay, and I'm just using my very small little roller today. You can use whatever size that you prefer. It's being a little bit difficult. I think it needs just a tiny bit of moisture. I just put a little tiny bit of moisture on my hand there. Okay. Again, I really like to refrigerate this. Okay. And we're going to do this really fast so I don't have to keep you. Now roll it out to, if you want them thinner, about 1/4 inch, but they will bake really quick. About 1/2 inch, and I'm just using just a rim of a glass instead of a cookie cutter today, okay? And we'll do 2 of them here, okay? Now you're going to place them on a cookie tray. Use either parchment paper, as I have, or use your silicone mats or that kind of thing. Do place the cookies about 2 inches apart, okay, when you're baking, because these particular cookies, yes, they are going to spread when they bake at that 350. Let me just throw that cookie ball back in there. All right, now you can use a little bit. I like to use egg white, beaten egg white. And I'm going to show you this way because I think it's easier than on the tray. You might be able to see it better. I'm just going to put a little bit of egg white with a brush, okay? And then you can use whatever jimmies, colored jimmies that you want to put on, you know, or colored sugar. And then I'm just going to plop it down. Again, give it about 2 inches, okay? Alrighty, and here we're going to do some colored jimmies. You can use confetti, that kind of thing. You can use your colored sugars. So if you're doing Christmas cookies, you can use red and green. I have chocolate jimmies. You have confettis, multi-colors. You know, the sky's the limit of how you want to decorate these, unless you're going to frost them or flood them with a frosting and then decorate them, that kind of thing. But bake them at 375, 2 inches apart, and they can take you anywhere from 9 to 11 minutes. So do watch them closely. I start checking mine about 7.5 minutes, because you know our oven set up so differently. So you don't want to over bake them. If you want a crisper cookie, then leave it to more of a, well, a medium to light golden brown. If you don't like them too crisp, then you're going to pull them out more where they're quite light in color, okay? And again, that really depends on how thick you make them. If you make them thicker, they're going to take you longer amount of time, and of course if you make them on the thin side, it's going to be a lot faster. So I'm going to just wash my hands quickly because I was working with raw egg and raw dough, and then I'd like to show you a finished product. Okay, now these have been decorated already, and you can see how much they did spread from the size of this glass, the rim, to what they are baked up to, okay? And these, I just have some colored sugars on them. I have the chocolate jimmies and the red, white, and blue. Again, make it for whatever event that you want. Okay, in fact, I have some more here that I just used. Again, colored sugars and then confetti. All right, now to talk about the cookie itself, okay, I like them to be more on the crisp side. So they will have a hard top, they'll have a hard bottom. This, you can see, is very, very light. But again, I like them a little on the thin side because I like them to dunk them. But it'll be up to you how thick or thin that you'd like. Okay, these are thicker right here, so it's really up to you. What's nice though is that I will get one to show you, one that I have here too with colored sugar, is the ones that I'm saying about with the kind of the light golden brown. When you break them, they have this wonderful snap to them, Oh, they are so good. And they really are good alone, plain, and then put ice cream between them. Oh, they're delicious. But anyway, here again, this is the lighter. You'll still have that nice snap, but you'll have a bit of, as you could see, it broke away a little slower. So the centers are a little bit more when you bite into them. They'll have a slight chew to them. So it really depends, you know, how you like your cookies. Yet it's nice and firm. It's not a soggy cookie or anything like that. But the darker you bake them, they'll have a sharper snap to them and be a bit drier than the ones that are lighter. So that'll be up to you for your preference. But they are really easy cookies to make. And I like that you can change the decorations to whatever that you want. So that's going to be it for me today on these sugar cookies using solid shortening. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, well, you know what? I can't thank you enough. Or like the video or ring the bell. Again, many, many, many thanks. If you do try this recipe and you like it, please let me know. Write to me. But please remember that I only put my videos on YouTube, so when you write to me, I'll get your question, I'll get your comment, and I'll answer in a timely fashion. I'll do my best, okay? And that's why I no longer put the recipe on my videos. And people ask me why, so I'm just explaining, and I'm not alone on it, but I got tired of seeing my work pinned and posted, claimed as others. And when people have written to me, I can't answer you. It became so frustrating, it wasn't worth putting on the recipe because that's what was happening a great deal. So I explained that, not to bore you, but people ask me, so I just want to put it out there to thank you for taking the time today to watch Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.